and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Outdoors People with me, C.W. Getz, and her, Maya Marzaki. Good evening. It's Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. We have a 49-degree Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius, sunny day here in north central Illinois. Maya, what is your weather down there in São Paulo?
So my weather is 28 degrees Celsius and 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's just beautiful. I don't think there's a better perfect weather than that, unless it's 100% humidity. But no, Stevens, even so. I mean, just take get your shorts. They're good. Flops. Don't even need flops. Funny story about the weather. As I was sitting in the hotel room in Madison, Wisconsin this past weekend with my good friend Dennis Canoe Hound Rogers, having a couple of Heineken, just slugging them down, having some fun. He said, we were talking about our things, and he said, I say a lot. I said, I do that too. And the other thing we thought was funny was I always do the weather. The weather is my thing. Well, the weather here is a sunny 49 degrees, but it's funny because that's my thing. And I don't know why. I think that stemmed from a camping thing because you always want to know what the weather is going to do. Because really, I mean, we're going to put the rain suits on today, or are we going to, we're going to paddle against the wind.
Can I go outside or not? Right?
Right. We're going to stay camped here and we'll float down the river tomorrow or paddle down the river tomorrow. But so I thought that was kind of funny, but I will mention we had a great time at Canoecopia 2023 this past weekend, which was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Madison, Wisconsin. And if you weren't there, you missed a great show. In fact, I was a moderator for Kevin Callan and Cliff Jacobson's questions and answers thing. So I had a really good time with that. So it was a lot of fun. Those two, it's always a good time when those two to get together.
Yeah, so cool. They are so fun. And I was not there, but I follow you guys on YouTube.
Did you? Did you see us?
Yeah, great job.
Cool. And I ran into Johnny and Colleen Kuehl, like I said, Dennis Rogers, Camper 69. Funny story about that. And then Sean Rowley, which is from Paddling Adventures Radio. How you doing? Let's see. How you doing? Camper 69. I was just going to talk about him. So a guy comes up to me in the booth and he says, "Hi, I'm Gary." And I said, "Hi, Gary. Nice to meet you. I'm Camper 69." I swear to God, I gave him a bear hug because he's like here every show. This guy's awesome. And then we actually had dinner later. We had dinner with the Canoe Hound and Gary and Sean and his wife. Looking forward to the show. It's -2 Celsius here, but plus 16 in my tent. Well, yeah, I love it.
Yes, keep warm.
Well, and Gary, thanks for tuning in. Mustang 774, how you doing too? Good to see you chime in there. Fantastic. Well, anyway, so and by the way, I just want to say thank you, Canadian people, my friends. They're wonderful people, and we had a really great time. Everybody was so nice. So anyway.
Yeah, I saw pictures and the video, and I'm very jealous.
Yeah, well, next year, Maya, you kind of we'll do it, man. You got to come here from Brazil. Yeah, absolutely.
Do it up, man.
You get a taste of our butt cold weather up here. It's not that much fun, believe me, but the show is a great time. Well, tonight's episode of Outdoors People is brought to you by Rutabaga Paddle Sports, providing time on the water.
By Campground Views, making camping easier.
By Duluth Pack, made in the USA since 1882.
And by Jackson Kayak, pursuing joy through paddle sports.
Tonight's episode is The Thrill of Caving with our special guest, Kimberly Lughard, 55-year-old Henderson County Rescue Squad Captain and National Cave Rescue Commission Deputy Sub-Regional Coordinator for the Eastern Region. Kimberly Lughard is also an instructor for Wilderness EMS and EMT skills at Blue Ridge Community College. A 15-year veteran expert caver, Kimberly is also quite active within her community, teaching cave rescue awareness for the rescue squad and leading large-scale caving field trips for youth groups and students. Kimberly holds technical certifications in mountain search and rescue, confined space, Swiftwater, surface water, trench, ice rescue, tower rescue, and hazmat. Currently, she's also involved in a mapping and survey project of an undisclosed cave in Newport, Tennessee. Kimberly joins us this evening to share a few caving adventure experiences and her passion for caving. And with that, welcome to the show, Kimberly.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
How's your connection? We had a little technical issue before the show, and I think we've got it solved because you look great. You're coming in there nice and clear, and I can hear you very well. So is it working?
That's better than it was.
Yeah, good deal. How's your weather down there, by the way?
It's cold.
Yeah.
We were spoiled with some really nice weather like last week, the week before, and it turned cold again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that here, too. It's just, we call that the springtime tease. Weather
exactly.
Yeah. So, Maya, go ahead, take it away.
So yes, thank you for being here with us. I'm very excited for hear from you tonight. So how did you get started caving?
Well, I've always been fascinated with caves. When I was younger, just loved to go underground, find a little hole, climb into it. And then about 15 years ago or so, I was online just checking things out and found a group that meets up in Asheville, North Carolina called Flittermouse Grotto. It's an organized caving group. And it's so funny because I started going to the meetings and it's like I found my people. I found what I love to do. Just the whole community, the sport of it, just everything is pretty amazing.
What is it about caving that it keeps you drawn to it like that? I mean, it's not a really common thing. I'm thinking, wow, you just have to have a passion for this sort of thing, or this sense of adventure like that. Is that explain that if you would, please?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a different perspective on the world. When you're underground, it's so beautiful. It's so different than what you normally see, and it's things that not everybody gets to see. On the surface, it's a whole different world. Underground, I've always said it's like being on another planet. It is just as close as you can come to, experiencing another world. There's a sport to it. There's the science, there's the beauty. It's just an amazing thing, and it's so addictive.
Kim, I think of this is just me, and it's a little weird, but I'm thinking it's kind of like those miners. Remember the old coal miners?
Yeah.
And you're underground, and you're a lot of times I don't know. I get a little claustrophobic. That's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever gotten that way before? Is it kind of like that or what?
I have not, but I have had people who have been on trips with me that have. And I'll tease them because they're like, okay, I'm hyperventilating. I can't breathe. And I'm like, it's okay. So when you pass out, you'll be fine. Your breathing will go back to normal. It'll be fine.
I can see that. Absolutely. I might be one
and then they're like, wait, what?
I mean, when you're down there, I'm sure like the oxygen level is different, is it not? And I
not really, no. Now mines are a little different. Mines I worry about a little more, but caves, I say they breathe. There's always airflow for the most part. And you'd be surprised at how much air is blowing when you're in there.
What's the difference? Like you said, mines and caves. I mean, what's the big difference there?
Like the mines, mines are man-made. So, and caves are naturally formed.
So basically the mines, could collapse.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, right?
No.
But you do that sort of thing too, along with the caves? Do you do both?
Not much. The only thing I do with mines is if we, I help the North Carolina Wildlife Commission, their biologists, do some of their bat surveys. And so the bat surveys, some of them are in mines because the bats decide for whatever reason to roost there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes, I went once in a cave in here in Brazil. It's pretty famous, although I don't know if you know, but I really love it, and I wish I could do more. And where are the most interesting caves in the world located?
I mean, there's so many different caves and so many systems. I find all of them interesting. Everything from the things we have locally here in North Carolina, which are tectonic caves. They're made by just cracks in the rock from tectonic activity, all the way to beautiful, beautiful limestone caves that they're massive. But I can't even say that what I think is the prettiest. My favorite area, because I live so close to it within 5 hours, is the TAG area. That stands for Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia. And that is where the 3 states meet. And there are, I can't even tell you how many caves are in that area. Wow. Anything from like pretty horizontal caves to deep pits. So,
yeah, and I saw your pictures and I saw the equipments, and it's close by of like climbing. So what the type of equipments most cavers carry with them?
If you're a horizontal caver, what you should always have, and we teach this as well, but you should always have a helmet with a chin strap, so it needs to attach. We see a lot of that. You'd be surprised at how many people we see that don't have have a helmet on. Oh yeah. It's like, can I just write down like your name on your arm so I can identify you later? It'll be fine. Yeah. So you should always have your helmet with a chin strap. You should have a helmet mounted headlamp. You should have an additional at least 2 more sources of light plus extra batteries for those lights. Most cavers use knee pads and elbow pads. I have forgotten mine and really wish I'd had them. So really wish I'd had them. Of course, food and water. You're gonna carry that no matter if it's a small trip or a big trip. A first aid kit. Extra clothing, so you want warm layers in case you get wet and cold. And then I always carry a SAM splint just in case somebody gets injured to be able to splint a limb. But then I also carry a garbage bag wrapped around that, and I carry a couple of candles and a lighter because if somebody gets cold, you can heat them up that way. You can make what's called a Palmer furnace.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, so you always have a method. It's amazing when you put that trash bag over you and light a candle inside of it, how much heat that can generate. And it's so easy. It just wraps up flat in my bag. I just wrap it around a SAM splint, and
how do you explain that? How does that work again? That
the Palmer furnace?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, so it's just something everybody can carry. It fits so small in your bag. I actually just use tea lights. I use the little tiny tea lights, but it's just a garbage bag. You leave it, put it over your head, cut a slit in it so you can breathe, and your face is out, and then light a candle inside of it. And sit there for 10, 15 minutes, and usually people warm up enough that they can move.
As long as you don't have nice long hair, they can catch on.
Well, you should probably have that tied back anyway.
Wow. Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never
And that's
saw
funny you bring that up. That you bring that up because, when you're vertical and you're on rope, especially women or anybody with long hair, you need to have your hair tied back because getting it caught in equipment is really bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I could
That's
see
a good
that,
call.
especially with the police.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we'll be back with more of Outdoors People right after these messages.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born. Built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
And we're back with our guest, Kimberly Lughard on Outdoors People. Kimberly, you mentioned something before break. The horizontal cavers. And I don't remember what you said the other one was, but I'm assuming it's like a vertical thing. Explain the difference there and what that means.
I mean, horizontal caves, simply you usually don't need rope or anything like that, or maybe you just need a hand line, but you don't need specialized equipment for it. And vertical caves, you enter them on a rope and usually exit the same way. So you have to be able to descend and ascend a rope.
Interesting. And you're climbing that rope out then. You're not being pulled on it.
Yeah, I love it. I would rather climb than to rappel. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoy the climb.
Well, your
I'm
very
the same page.
I have a system that most people don't think is efficient for climbing, but it's just for my body build, it's perfect. I use what's called a Texas system, which doesn't have anything that helps you stay against the rope. It's just 2 hand descenders and a foot loop.
Wow. I hate to make you mad because you got to be strong. I mean, so let me ask you along those lines here. What are some of the most interesting things you've encountered while caving?
Oh gosh. Once we were in a cave over in Eastern Tennessee and came across a really old moonshine still. So that was super cool. You could tell what it was, but it was really, rusted out and dilapidated, but you could tell what it was.
They didn't leave you any moonshine there, I'm assuming. That was empty. What? Hey, she froze. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, no. We lost our guest. It was the moonshine comment, I'm sure. Well, we're going to work on getting her back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's just kind of hang out in a second here. And you know what? While we're doing that, we're waiting for her. I'm going to read a couple of these comments. Let's see. Johnny and Colleen are with us, at least one of them. So I'll say hello, you guys.
Hello.
Caving, cool quest. Caving is similar to, help me with that word. Cenote? Canote? I don't know. What is that? Cenote. Canote. I don't know. Is it cenote?
Canote?
Yeah, I'm not quite that worldly. Let's see here. Let's see if there it is. Caving is semantic. Got it. Yep. Let's flash a couple of other ones. I don't have to scroll through them one while we're waiting for Kimberly to come back.
Not diving.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, probably not, but we have a very famous here in Brazil who calls Petar, and they have like 300 caves, and it is so amazing, so beautiful.
We didn't do any of the caving when I was down there with you guys.
No,
I'm camping at Killbear Provincial Park.
We went up. We didn't go down.
No, we did. We just went. Well, we did come down from the rock. We were there. But,
yeah.
Hey, Juan, throw that up there again. You want to split? There we go. Oh, she's back with us. All right. Let's pick up where we left. Well, we're having some technical challenges. You'll have that every once in a while. But you were talking about some of the most interesting things you've encountered while caving. So
yes. The moonshine still was super cool. That was just an odd thing to see. We've come across like full intact skeletons of animals. The fossils are amazing. There's a lot of fossils in the cave.
Yeah.
And also the bats. I love bats. So that's my thing that I love.
See, I might be a little weird there because bats kind of creep me out a little bit. I had one that got caught when I had long hair. I know, look at this, but once upon a time I did have long hair. And a bat got caught in my hair. And,
Really?
Yeah. And it got tangled up and it was just a little creepy. And so they kind of freak me out now.
They're pretty important.
Yeah. I had a similar experience with a kid with a June bug, but we won't talk about that. Anyway. So, yeah. But the bats are flying around in there. I know they can, they do their sonar thing or whatever, but you ever get hit by a bat? Doesn't that creep you out a little bit or no?
I've been hit a few times by a bat. The ones around here are small. So they're, the size of, a walnut just about. They're really little.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, they're small. The cave I manage over in Newport, Tennessee has, last bat survey was 115,000 gray bats. There was a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes,
I have a nerdy bat fact. If you didn't have bats, you wouldn't have tequila because they pollinate the agave plant.
Is that right?
Yeah. And bananas and mangoes and a lot of other fruit. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Did not know that. Well, you thank the tequila world for the bats, right? Or
I know, right?
The tequila world. I said that backwards, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they are like birds, right? They eat the fruits and
they eat a lot of bugs. They're good for insect control.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, so they are good. Just keep your hair short.
I'm safe now.
So, what has been the most fascinating cave you've explored?
I'm really partial to the one that I manage over in Newport, Tennessee, because it's a vertical cave, so it's fun to access, but it's the most heavily decorated cave probably I've been in. And then the bat population on top of it is just amazing. And we're still exploring that cave. There's another one close by that we're going to try to connect. We think it might connect. So we're working on that.
And what do you mean by decorated? What is a decorated cave?
Formation. Yeah, the formation, the stalactites, the stalagmites, all the different kinds of formation are, it's just stunning in that cave. There's nowhere you can look that's not pretty.
Wow. I bet there are some interesting, you've come across a lot of. So, talking about the rescue aspect of what you do, what's the most dangerous experience you've had, in the 15 years that you've been caving?
The one that really sticks with me, it was just a fun trip. It was a recreational trip to a cave that was over in Tazewell, Tennessee. And it was rainy that day, which we knew. And there's a crawl passage you have to get into that is usually, 3 inches of water. It's just cobblestones and some stuff. But while we were in there, the water came up more. And so crawling out is what's called an ear dipper. Like your ears in the water and your head's against the rocks and you're trying to crawl. And so it's a little unnerving. And one of our members got really hypothermic. He just didn't have on quite the right clothing and got what's called the umbles. So in hypothermia, the umbles are like stumble, mumble, fumble, tumble, grumble, things like that. So he really, his personality changed. He got really confused and we had a hard time getting him out of there. And then when we got him out, we had to get him warmed up. And that was because I felt responsible. I was a trip leader. That was probably one of the more unnerving things.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
And everyone was fine, but in the grand scheme of things, in hindsight, if I have people who they're on a trip with me and they don't have the proper clothing on, I'm just gonna have to turn them around and say no.
Yeah. Yes, it's better just not go, right?
Yeah, because they're my responsibility. So
looks like we got a comment here from Tia. Let's put that up on the screen. Tia, oh hey, I love you. You got a big. I'm going to tell you something. You were like a rock star. You have had a lot of people chime in and comment on the promos for today's show. I'm thinking, man, she's got her own huge fan club going.
Hi, Tia.
Good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, go ahead. I interrupted you there. You got
About that. So, what's been the most challenging cave rescue that you've been involved in?
I've only been in one really large scale cave rescue that was, on a big scale. And that was up in Russell County, Virginia, in 2019. And there were 5 people who had entered the cave and weren't properly equipped and weren't properly conditioned, I guess you would say. They weren't in good physical shape. And they got in there and went on some like ropes that really aren't meant for climbing and stuff like that, and just didn't have the right equipment to get out. So they got stuck. So there were 5 of them stuck in there for a couple of days till we got them out.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they made it remarkably up to this cave has 7 short drops to get into the main part of the cave. And they were at the bottom of the 4th drop, which was amazing. They got that far, but then they just couldn't go any further.
Whoa. Sorry, I guess we have some pictures after the little break, and you can explain better for us.
Sure.
So we'll be back with more of Outdoors People right after these messages.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sights, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born. Built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
All right, and we're back with our guest, Kimberly Lughard, here on Outdoors People. We have got some photos, some very cool photos, actually, and some really cool video that Kimberly sent us. Let's take a look at it. Tell us what we're looking at for the pictures, Kimberly.
Okay.
Videos pretty much speak for themselves, don't they?
It might.
Here we go.
I love this picture.
Oh, thank you. I believe that one was at a cave in Alabama. And if I'm not mistaken on that one picture, I think might be some goats in the background, which sounds weird, but we actually we found goats in the bottom of a pit, and we let the Conservancy know they were there.
Yeah.
But it was very unnerving to rappel down and hear something at the bottom of your rope alive.
That's weird.
Whoa.
Hey, that was the picture on Caving Magazine, wasn't it? The cover, the album cover, or a magazine cover you did?
I'm not sure. That might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
So you climb to the top like with your fingers, like climbing the rock, or you push
no, with
yourself the
ascenders, with a gear. Yeah, there's a piece of gear you used.
Okay. I see.
Look at that swimming hole under there. Look at that.
Yeah.
I bet that water's cold.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
53 degrees, 55, something like that.
No, about the temperature of the cave. So caves are pretty much the ambient temperature of your area. So like say in Alabama and stuff, they're about 56 degrees year round. They're they're the same temperature all the time.
Yeah.
So in the summer, they feel air conditioned. In the winter, they feel warm.
Yeah, I can imagine they do.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, and that was some climb practice on a waterfall, just practicing vertical. It's good to practice in water because there are some caves that you will have to rappel through or climb back up in a waterfall. So you need to be able to like keep your head, while you're having water hit you.
I was just going to ask you that. You like drown, like not drown, but you get, water fall on you when you're climbing up a rope. That has to make it slippery.
No, it doesn't make it slippery. It's just unnerving because you just got to remember that there's air and you can breathe, but you tend to get water in your face and you're like sputtering around. And
yeah,
if I'm going to be in a waterfall, a lot of times I'll put a ball cap on under my helmet so I have that shield on the top.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good call.
I love that. How do you get the boats down there? Do you just lower them down there and paddle?
Yeah, so that cave actually, we just lowered them down the pit and onto the beach, and then we're able to paddle. That cave has about a mile of river passage.
That is so
Whoa.
Yeah, so I have a friend, Dave McCrae, and he's a photographer, and so he wanted to do some photography in the cave, and that's how that turned out.
That looks amazing. And I'm surprised you had all that light down there to make a great, picture.
When it's so dark, it doesn't take a lot of light to make it kind of bright.
So he didn't bring the soft boxes down there and the video lighting and all that.
Right.
I made that up. I'm just saying.
I know that.
Yeah, you're great.
We had some extra lighting, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Looks great.
I didn't want to get my feet wet.
That looks dangerous.
What's going on?
I feel like a cat sometimes where I just don't want to get my feet wet.
Looks like Spider-Man. I like that. That's so cool. Okay, there's claustrophobia setting in.
Yeah, and that's in a cave up in Russell County. That was actually the same cave we had the rescue in. But as you can see from that, I mean, it's snug. So it's hard to do systems to get people out of there. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a real big person, and it's snuggish on me.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
That's a little too close for comfort for me. That's just
That's so beautiful. I
love that shot. Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just another pit in Alabama. It was really neat perspective to be able to get like 2 or 3 people on rope that you can see all of them at the same time like that.
That you know what? And that looks right out of a magazine. I mean, no fool.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
Amazing.
CW, this rock reminds me the one we climbed in Brazil.
It does. It absolutely does. Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's the same type.
Yep. And then this one right here, this picture is a cave over in Tazewell, Tennessee. It's actually the same one we ran into a problem with that I was telling you about the fellow with the hypothermia. But so one passage of it is dry and it ends up in a really pretty crystal room. And then you backtrack and go on the water passage, and it's all these plunge pools. So you just kind of shimmy down and, hand line and climb back up, but it's just really pretty water.
Plunge pool. What does that mean?
A plunge pool, it's just little small waterfalls with little basins at the bottom.
Okay. Looks fun and scary at the same time. Mustang 774. I'm with you. It does, really.
I mean, I tell you, I never really get cold unless I really stop moving. Even if I get wet, as long as I'm moving, I'm okay.
Yeah, right. Look at that.
Yeah, and that's just one of the really pretty formations. At the bottom, you'll see the little layers of rock. That's a little rimstone. That's just formed by water sitting in it over time, and then it calcifies, and then water levels change and stuff.
Kimberly, I can see when you'd have to have a helmet. You smack into one of those things. That's rock.
Yeah.
That's not.
Oh yeah.
That's not going anywhere.
I have about knocked myself out. Like,
have you done that? You have, right? You have
pretty close. I think I'm less careful when I have a helmet on. So I'm just like, I'll just go along. It'll fit fine,
Yeah.
And I'll just ring my bell.
Look at this. I love this.
Yeah, and that they're just working on a problem together of trying to get down a certain passage there.
Yeah, it looks like you're in a meeting.
Yeah.
What are you doing, kids?
Contemplating it.
What's the plan? Yeah, I love it.
Because I'm really happy to take people who maybe don't know a cave well, and we can be side by side and we can work on vertical together. And
Yeah.
I don't worry a whole lot about not getting somebody out of somewhere,
Oh, that's
That is very
beautiful.
cool.
And that one, my friend Samantha took that picture. It's hard to see in the picture, but I was belaying people they were rappelling in from the top. And so I was doing a bottom belay on them just for a little additional safety.
Yeah,
But she just caught the picture, just crazy picture.
very cool picture.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. Looks like another world. So beautiful.
It does.
It is. It's another planet.
Yeah.
Gives a whole new meaning to the underground world, doesn't it?
I know. People don't picture it so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because we'll take we're doing it again this year. Last year, we took a group of kids from a local private school caving. We took 40 kids caving. And, at the beginning of it, they were terrified. And at the end, they're all like, I feel so strong. I feel so powerful. It was just the coolest thing.
How cute.
I thought I was going to be scared. And, you guys made me brave. I'm like, no, you made you brave,
Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you. We're excited to do it again. It's coming up soon. So, and this is at a cave rescue class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've done cave rescue classes with the NCRC. I've done level 1 and 2, and I'm doing level 3 in May.
So cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we got, these are the end of the photos. We got some videos coming up. So check those out. Get your popcorn, kids. Cool. Very cool.
Maybe a little snug. Not too bad. I just send people bigger than me first.
Yeah, right? Why not? It's like, not going to work for me.
Well, if they fit, I know I'll
Well, if they
fit.
fit, yeah, that's true. I said that the other way around. All right, we got another video, or is that the only video we had? Speak to me, Juan.
I guess it is the only one.
Only one. Oh, I thought we had 2 or 3. Okay. Oh, my mistake. But that's very cool. I mean, I think those photos are amazing. And,
Thank you.
the video too kind of tells a story of, hey man, you're going to be down on your hands and knees in some of this. And, which lends credence to your knee pads and, elbow pads that you want to bring along, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's funny, depending on the cave, depends on what I wear. Like, if it's a really, really rocky cave where I think I'm going to get hung up on stuff a lot, I will wear as like a tank top and my knee pads and stuff. I don't want my clothes to get caught.
Yeah.
But if it's a really cold cave or it's really muddy, then I'll wear more layers. It just
I was
depends.
going to say, you're not wearing a tank top when it's cold. I mean, it's like 50, what'd you say, 56 degrees now?
Yeah, but when you're moving, see, I don't want to get sweaty because
yeah.
when you get sweaty, you'll get hypothermic. So I try really hard to control my body temperature. I'd rather be a little cold than a little hot.
As long as you're moving. But I'm sure you probably got a sweatshirt on top of it in case you're down there for a while and you're not moving.
I have a thermal shirt in my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case.
Well, those are very cool. Thank you for sending those in, sharing them with us. On a 10 scale, Kim, and from what we've seen, you know what I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
How dangerous is caving, actually?
So I really feel like it's kind of what you make it. Okay, so I've seen people, and we try to educate the public when we see them doing something bad. If you go in a cave with, your flashlight and no helmet, and, it can be pretty dangerous. So there's things to mitigate your danger, right? Make sure you have good boots on, make sure you have a helmet and lights, things like that. With a horizontal cave, I mean, I would say like it's about a 3 to 5. It just depends on the,
I mean, that seems
I kind of underestimate things for people, and then they're like, I thought you said this was easy. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, the horizontal thing seems relatively straightforward. I mean, you're watch your head.
Yeah. Now, with vertical caving, of course, there's a higher risk. I mean, because you've got, but knowing your equipment, knowing how your equipment works, practicing a lot, and knowing how to mitigate problems lessens that risk a lot. And knowing your own limits too. I think that's really important. Like, if you're really, really claustrophobic and you think you're going to have a problem, we might want to work through that first. Or if you, you're not sure about your equipment and you've never used this whatever equipment before, well, you should probably practice on the surface first.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention something. Paige says we love you, Kim. You look, you're one of your fan club. I love it. Yeah, I would assume that you really need, you don't just jump into caving and go, yep, I'm going to go, you really need to learn what the hell you're doing.
Right.
Especially in the, what did you call them? The vertical ones.
Yeah. With your vertical caving, especially, you just really need to, know how to rig stuff right, know how to rig for rescue, know how to get people out of trouble if they're in trouble,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Juan says we're running out of time. Okay. I'm going to be quiet now and let you, that's my ask our last question.
I have so many more questions. I wish I could talk like the whole evening.
You can call me later.
Okay, that's good. And about that, where can people go to learn even more about caving and follow you on social media?
Well, for caving, the best source of information is the National Speleological Society's website. Just go to caves.org. And they have a tremendous amount of information. So that is a great way to start. Also, if you're anywhere near a local caving grotto, definitely check that out. My local grotto is Flittermouse Grotto. That's kind of a Americanized version of the German word for bat. So it's kind of a cool name.
Interesting.
But anyway, so we have our grotto. You can follow me on Facebook, Kimberly Lughard, and you can follow me on Instagram. That's at Caver Girl. And I love teaching people stuff. I love getting new people underground, and it's so cool to see this, this change in persona, this change in people when they find this passion,
Very cool. And just for the podcasters or Instagram, name is CAVERGRL. No I in that. So Caver Girl. Well, Kimberly, thank you for being our guest here on Outdoors People. It was a pleasure having you here with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We'd also like to thank each of our sponsors for bringing you tonight's show: Rutabaga Paddle Sports, Campground Views, Duluth Pack, and Jackson Kayak.
Be sure to tune in for next week's episode, Junior Pro Wakeboard Champion Kit Smith, with our special guest, Kit Smith. Until then, for Maya Marzaki, this is CW Getz saying thank you for tuning in to Outdoors People. See you next week.
Ciao.